Hey, let's get cracking with the show. It's been a huge week for Chelsea. Zach, we're going to come straight to you. Big Chelsea fan, as we know. Enzo Maresca leaving the club after 18 months. First manager in Premier League history to part ways on New Year's Day, incidentally.
Ouch.
What was your immediate reaction when you heard that news? Because it was a huge news, wasn't it?
Gutted, probably gutted. I've quite liked Maresca. I think he's done a really good job at Chelsea. It's funny because pre-December, I think a lot more fans would have been outraged as well. You know, we just beat Barcelona. That was a very good result, obviously, against Arsenal in the draw at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea had, I think, positive results against Burnley as well.
Premier League Manager of the Month, I think I'm right in saying,
exactly,
in November.
Yeah, in November. So I think he'd done a lot of really good stuff at Chelsea. I think he'd done really well to bring through a lot of young players. It's a super young squad. He himself was a young manager in terms of his experience as well. I was gutted, to be quite honest, but I guess it's kind of... I feel mad to maybe be gutted because is it that surprising, maybe, as a Chelsea fan? Like, especially under possibly this new ownership as well. We've seen a manager sacked after a few months. We've seen a manager sacked within a year of Pochettino. We've now obviously seen that happen with Enzo Maresca. I think if he's not fitting within that kind of structure, they're more than happy to let you go.
Should we get Luke in? Because obviously I'm intrigued to know your thought from a neutral perspective. Like Zach's spoken quite emotionally as a Chelsea fan. He makes a good point about if you'd have said this a couple of months ago in the situation that Chelsea were at. It was only last season they won 2 trophies, didn't they? The Europa Conference League and the Club World Cup. So what's your assessment of how this is unfolded from a neutral's perspective?
Just don't understand it at all. I saw that news on New Year's Day and I was like, that can't be right. You know, one of them where you check it and you think that's fake or something. And I saw it and I was like, don't know what they're really doing. There's a few reasons as to why it might have gone on. I know that, at the start of the season, even at the end of last season, there was talk of him maybe moving on, but just doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense, and I don't really know where they go from here, especially with what he's done. I thought he's done really well. Coming from City, he was at City actually, when City won the treble. Went to Leicester, did really well there. Chelsea pick him up. I thought he's done a very good job at Chelsea. I mean, I think the trophies speak for themselves as well, and then for him to go, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, he was being linked, sort of. In some reports,
Yeah.
we saw David Ornstein talk about it being one of the reasons he potentially left the club with City to replace Pep Guardiola in the future. Where are you on that?
Yeah, well, the Pep replacement question is so strange because I've had it so many times and you never really know when Pep's going, and everyone wants to, other than the City fans, obviously wants to think it's sooner rather than later, but you'd have said the same thing 5 years ago, so I'm hoping he stays for a bit more time, and he's got still a year and a half on his deal. So.
But would you take Maresca, when the time comes that Pep does go,
I think he's an option,
would you be happy with that?
But it's one of them. He's not quite done that much, but I think maybe the fact that he was maybe flirting a bit with City and he did let Chelsea know because he was contractually obliged to do so, maybe that's not helped his case at Chelsea.
Just finally on Maresca, how will he be remembered? What will his legacy be? Obviously the 2 trophies, a lot of money was spent. There's so much going on with Chelsea. There's a lot of managers that have been in and out. How do you think he will be remembered by Chelsea fans?
I think the trophy wins. The Club World Cup's a big one. I think he speaks to any Chelsea fan. To win the first one of that size, of the level of competition they want it to be. Obviously, there won't be another one for another 3 years or so now. I think that is a huge accomplishment. It's odd in terms of, I don't think he fully, at least maybe the Stamford Bridge crowd, I don't think he fully got them on board 100% of the time. We even saw most recently when he subbed off Cole Palmer, there was a chance of you don't know what you're doing and stuff like that. So, but it's kind of I think like the Chelsea fan base is kind of split down the middle at the moment. Some people who aren't too bothered by him leaving, and some guys who are very passionately on the other side and would have wanted him to stay and believed he did a really good job. I'm probably more on that side than the other. But look, as a Chelsea fan, it's like they say about, if you're a Championship fan, and it's like, don't get too attached to a loan signing. I think that's the same for a Chelsea manager, really. Never get too attached to a Chelsea manager because you're only you're a month away from them going.
Wow.
Let's look to the future a bit then. We're going to ask you to predict who you think is going to come in as the manager of the club. First and foremost, is there a name that you obviously have been linked with? I think we're all aware that we were just skirting around a little bit, but let's get it out of the way. So you're linked with him. This is your prediction.
Yeah, Liam Rosenior. Obviously, the whole Blue Coat project. He is currently the manager of Strasbourg, has done a very good job there as well, fits in within their structure. Look, people can sit here and say, why aren't they gone for maybe a more established manager, maybe a bit more of a fancier name, as Xavi Hernandez, he's out there, Glasner's obviously out there. But this is somebody that fits in their project. I think this is one of the things that people need to realise sometimes when talking about Chelsea. It's all around this project. It's all about the structure and how it works in there. You are a head coach. You're not the manager, you're a head coach. And he's doing that very well at Strasbourg. I mean, how it will go down with Strasbourg fans, I dread to think.
How's it going to go down with Chelsea fans? If Liam, when Liam Rossini walks the team out first game, how